Okay, let's start the presentation. Right, so once again, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. Well, I think in the last session we were again discussing about the aspects of writing an email, and we were discussing few things here and there, I think. And yeah, if you can recall, what was the last thing that we did in our session, in our past session, in the last session last week? Can someone quickly put it up in the chat or speak to me by, you know, um, through mic? You may unmute yourself and talk to me on mic if you wish to, or you can write in the chat. Yeah, we talked about subject and we did some exercise, right, Devashish? That was quick. Okay, Utsav, thank you. Right. So yes, we discussed about the subject line. Very true. And I think we also did some exercise on putting out a better subject line, right? So we did those two things. Now in today's session, well, before we come to the agenda of today's session, very quickly, let's take a quick review of the past session on the screen, on my screen. So we discussed about the elements, subject line, salutation. We discussed about the body. The body is the main part of the email, which has three, subparts. There is the opening paragraph, there is a purpose, there is a conclusion. Right. We talked about what is valediction. Valediction is the way you end your email saying yours faithfully, yours sincerely, and so on. And the signature, the way you sign off. Uh, but in the first, section, we talked about subject line and we discussed these two important rules. We discussed thoroughly that there should not be more than 8 words. We all even agreed to that point that a subject line can never be more than 8 words. It is impossible to have a subject line with more than 8 words. We also discussed that. We discussed that a subject line can never use a personal pronoun I. Now, this is very important. Those who joined late, Ayushi, Bautik, Dharmik, Divyesh, Monish, Nidhi, welcome and good afternoon. अच्छा सब्जेक्ट लाइन में हमने ये भी डिस्कस किया था that we don't use personal pronoun I. Now let me tell you, eventually personal pronoun I has least importance in almost many formal writings and formal concepts. Uh, Specifically when you're writing a resume, right? Which I may teach you down the line some or the other time. But when you're writing specifically, resume, we don't use a subject line there. Yes, Dharmik, good afternoon. We don't use the personal pronoun I. I will repeat once again. Personal pronoun I has least importance in many formal writings. And one of such formal writings, is resume. जब आप रिज्यूमे लिख रहे हो तो आप उसमें ऑब्जेक्टिव स्टेटमेंट में या फिर कहीं पे भी when you are giving a statement or sentences you cannot write personal pronoun I other than the declaration statement which is actually the last section of your resume. So you cannot use personal pronoun I in the subject line. And I've given you a very good tip. Actually, this tip actually improves the way you write your subject line. Once again, I will say it. This tip actually improves the way you write your subject line. I'll repeat it again. It improves, okay? So it's not a compulsion, but it does improve the way you write your subject line. The tip में मैंने आपको बताया था that if you start your subject line with the ing words of the purpose of an email, then it is making its impact. क्योंकि पहले भी हमने बात किया था that email subject line needs to be very clear, very specific. You need to narrow down the idea and you need to talk to the point, right? So then we, identified few purposes, and then we tried an example like if you're writing to invite someone, then how should you start your subject line? You should start your subject line with the word quickly in the chat. You should start your subject line with the ing of the purpose. If the purpose is invite, then your subject line should start with what word? Yeah, inviting. So this is something we have discussed, guys. So be very quick on the chat. Yeah. So inviting. Now it then continues. For example, inviting for this and this occasion, or inviting on this and this occasion, right? If your subject line is to just apologize about your delay, or apologize about your yesterday's mistake in behavior, then how you start? You just start simply by saying, yeah, by just simply saying apologizing. Yes, Devashish, so too quick. That was too quick. Impressive. So you just simply say apologizing, right? जब आप इससे शुरू करते हो ना आईएनजी से, तो आगे का जो स्टेटमेंट है वो मोर मीनिंगफुल बन जाएगा, एंड amazingly you talk to the point. So when I'm reading the subject line, I exactly know what you're trying to say. So apologizing for my misbehavior in the last session, or for the last session, right? Informing you about the delay, rescheduling the tomorrow's meeting to day after tomorrow, right? So yeah, that does make sense. And then we took up an exercise of giving a subject line to this email, this particular email. And I think you can specifically see the purpose is lying somewhere in the third paragraph, where he's saying, I just want to let you know that my plane gets in 9:30. So is there any way to get someone to pick me up? So, picking up someone from the airport is the purpose. Well, now let's talk about the next element, and that's greetings. But before we start, I want you to sit with your pen and paper, and everyone should tell me in the chat that you are ready with pen and paper. Please tell me ready very quickly. Let's do it quickly. Wow. These people are like born ready. They're already sitting with pen and paper. You should sit with notes every time. It's not just my session. In any of the sessions, if you're sitting with notes, it helps you to note down keywords and important items, statements specifically. Right, Ritik, Bautik, and Ayushi. So it's like only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are ready, including Tanay. Now it's 7, including Tanay. So only 7 people are ready out of 18. Where are the others? Please, quickly, let me know in the chat. फटाफट आप chat में मुझे बताओ कि आप ready हो. Otherwise, I cannot move ahead. I actually don't want to move ahead if you're not ready. Kuldeep Singh is ready. Yes, Kuldeep Singh just joined. So welcome, Kuldeep, and good afternoon. I think Leila just joined. Leila, are you ready with your pen and paper? Because we are about to start. Right, Dara is also ready. Okay, considering most of you are ready, let's start. So can someone give me an example for greetings or salutation? What can you write? What options do you have? Just, before I start, just let me see what you know about how to write a subject line. The salutation. So if you're writing an email to me, what would you precisely say in the very beginning? How would you greet me? Can someone just write it in the chat quickly, fast? Because you guys must have written a letter sometime, or an application or something. So what do you say? Yeah, well, this should be quick. Where are the quickers? Where is Utsav? Where is Sneha? And where is Devashish? Yeah, what I'm asking is, I'm asking about greeting. How would you greet if you write an email to someone? What options do you have? What do you say to people? Or when you're writing a letter, let's take an example of letter. Okay, good morning, you can say good afternoon or good evening, etc. Right, but Utsav, let's try to be more generic and more formal. How would you say? See, what you are saying is common greetings when it comes to speaking. This is not speaking, this is writing something. So, and this is writing an email, which is parallel to writing a letter. Allow me to introduce myself. No, Devashish. This is, I'm talking about salutation. Salutation is when you address the person. So when you say, when you're writing an email to Ashish, oh yes, Sneha got it right. I think she says, dear sir and madam. Do we have any other option than dear? Do we have any other option? Okay, we have another option, respected. Fine. And can someone tell me the difference between dear and respected? Quickly, quickly. Devashish, Utsav, Sneha, maybe. Right. Ritik says, dear use for friends. Good, 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 Ritik. Good input. I mean, this is a good input. Yes. Anyone else? What is the difference between dear and respected? You need to tell me. Fine. Respected for elders. Okay, that is good. That is good. Uh, or teacher. Okay, or teacher. That is a good idea. Fine. One more question. Are there any other words than dear and respected? I mean, dear and respected. Okay, you already said. Are there any other words which I can use before the name of the person when I write an email or a letter? Right. Sneha is more specific now. Ayushi is also more specific. Monish says dear is for formal mail. Okay, good. Dear is when we write to friend. Respected is informal greeting. Okay, respected is used for giving respect. Okay, all right. Dear is informal. All right. Okay, 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 fine. These are good options. But what Monish has said specifically makes more sense. But he said it half. So I'm going to finish what Monish just stated. But before, let me show you what options do we have when we greet people. When we greet people, we can use two types of words. We can either use the openers, as you can see on the screen, or we can use the titles. जो greetings में तुम्हारी पास है बे categories है आपके पास greetings में दो categories है you have two categories in greetings. Category one, you call it openers. Now, in openers, you have words like hi, you have words like hello, you have words like hey, you have words like dear, you have words like respected. Now, definitely hi, hello, and hey, as we are writing formal emails, we are not going to use, right? Because they are straight away informal. Then we have titles. Now, titles are other words which are Mr., like Mrs. and Miss, and then Doctor and Professor, and it goes on and on. Uh, Now, the answer to the first question, which Monish, had clarified it nicely, but only 50% of it. The difference between dear and respected. Now, listen to me very carefully. Both the words are regardless of formal and informal types. Let me tell you again. Both the words are regardless to the types. Yeah, it's okay, Leila. I can understand. I can understand. I read your email. I read your message. It's okay. So once again, dear and respected are both regardless to the types. That means what I'm trying to say is actually, Sneha, this is going to be a surprising element for you and maybe for most of you. Dear and respected, they both are formal. You cannot say that dear is informal and respected is formal. No, they both are formal. You're wrong there. Now that's where Monish makes sense. Monish says that dear is formal male unknown. Look at that keyword that he is writing, unknown. So that means you use dear in front of the name of people when you don't know them very well. Very well. I mean, very well. Now, if you know them, you write dear. So if you say, dear Britzer, say, for example, if you're writing an email to me, if you say, dear sir or dear Britzer, no problem. Perfect. Cool. It's formal, and it's formal because you know me. You know me very well. But let's say in general, you're writing an email to one of the executive secretaries to the registrar, and he is Kiran sir. So do you know him? Tell me very quickly. The first answer, the first question. Do you know him? Do you know him? No, you don't. You don't. You don't know him. So how would you greet him? Would you say dear sir or would you say respected sir? Monish, a question to you because you have answered it already. Yes, respected sir. Now it is very clear in your minds that respected and dear has nothing to do with the formal and informal. Point one. Point two, let me make it very clear. Dear and respected has also nothing to do with the position. It's regardless to the position. How? Example. Now you know me very well, so you write dear sir. But if I have someone working under me, if I'm the owner of the company, and if I have someone working under me, maybe my assistant, and my assistant is someone called John. Now you don't know John, no matter whether he works for me or whether he works, under me. It doesn't matter. But you need to use respected there because you don't know that guy very well. And that's what exactly Monish is trying to say. Respected is definitely formal, but dear is formal as well. You only use dear when you know the person well. Otherwise, you use respected. Now that's very clear. That's very clear. Is that clear for everyone? Is this instruction very clear? Did you guys understand what I'm trying to focus on? The difference between dear and respected? Tell me yes or no very quickly in the chat. Yes, there goes yes from everyone. Now the big question comes up. When can I use the opener and when can I use the title? See, now this is the biggest question. Specifically, it's the biggest question for us because we are the non-native speakers of this language. See, we are non-native speakers, or we are this is not our native language. So it becomes difficult for us to understand when to use the opener and when to use the title. So now for that, we have rules, and rules should go in your book because you're already sitting with a pen and a book or a paper. So let's focus on rule number one very quickly. Rule number one. Rule number one says that, let's say I have to write an email to Divyesh Parmar. मुझे दिव्येश परमार को एक ईमेल लिखना है और दिव्येश परमार को जब मैं ईमेल लिखना है तो मुझे उसको एड्रेस करना है उसका फर्स्ट नेम से. So if I want to write an email to Divyesh, and if I want to address him by his first name, which is Divyesh, then I can only use the opener and cannot use the title. So I cannot say Mr. Divyesh, or I cannot say Dr. Divyesh, or I cannot say Professor Divyesh. I can only say Dear Divyesh or Respected Divyesh. If he is your boss, if he is my sir, then I can say Dear Divyesh sir or Respected Divyesh sir. Now, you know already the difference between dear and respected. I use dear because I know my sir very well. Divyesh sir, I know you very well. I use respected Divyesh sir because I don't know Divyesh sir very well. We are strictly formal. Now, dear doesn't mean informal, but dear means at least you know the person. But respected means you even don't know the person. You only know that he's your boss. You don't know him as a person. When you write dear, you know him as a person. Right. Did you understand this? Please tell me yes if you did. The rule number one, is it very clear to everyone? Rule number one. Yes, it's very clear. It's very clear. Now, there is an exception in rule number one. Now, the exception is if and only if I am the CEO, the chairman of the company, the chairman of the industry, and if I am writing an email to Divyesh, now I am the boss. I am everything to everyone because I'm at that level, I'm at that position. then you know what? If I am writing Divyesh first name, then I don't need to use anything. I can simply start my email without opener and without title just by writing Divyesh. Divyesh. And then I start my email, the body, the first paragraph. But this is only possible when you are on the top of everyone, when you're on the top of everybody, when you are the manager, or when you are the, when you are on the top of someone. Okay. तो ये त्यारे खास है, otherwise it won't happen. वो तभी होगा, otherwise it is not going to happen. You will have to use the opener, either dear or respected. You can use sir as a suffix to mention that the what do you call, to mention that acknowledgement that okay, you are my boss, right? So to mention that acknowledgement, you can use sir afterwards. Right? जैसे कि आप मुझे ईमेल लिखोगे और मेरे फर्स्ट नाम से आप मुझे बुलाओगे ब्रिज. If you are writing an email to me and you will call me by my first name, now you know me very well, but at the same time I'm your sir, I'm your trainer. So how would you address me quickly? By using the opener, any one of the openers, fast. Yeah, perfect. I think, yeah, Utsav makes sense. Dear Britzer. Then now someone would ask me, why dear? Well, dear, because Utsav knows me. He knows me as a person too, and he knows me for a long time now, right? But there is another option, that is respected Britzer. That is only in case if you don't know me. Okay? Yeah, Ritik clarifies it. Good, Ritik. Thank you. Ritik has clarified because we know you. So that's point one. Chalo. Now let's take the case study two. Okay, the case study two is, अभी दिव्येश परमार का फिर से नाम लेते हैं. अभी अगर मुझे दिव्येश को ईमेल लिखना है, but I want to address him by his last name, surname this time, not the actual name. I'm talking about the surname. Okay, now I have to follow another rule. So if I'm writing an email to Divyesh by his surname, that is Parmar, then I have to use the titles. That is Mr. Parmar or Dr. Parmar or Professor Parmar. But when you are using the last name, let me tell you this and let me repeat it 3 times. When you are using the last name, you cannot use the suffix Dear Parmar, sir. You can, but it looks odd. You can, but it looks odd. You can, but it looks odd and it sounds odd. You better use the word sir, suffix sir, with the first name and not the last name. But you can use. It's okay. It's okay to use. Now, you have one more option. You have one more option. The other option is you use opener and title together with the last name. But opener and title in the sequence. So you can say, Dear Mr. Parmar, or you can say, Respected Mr. Parmar. Now, doing this, you are speaking to the person in balance, right? Respected Mr. Parmar. Let's say, for example, if I'm writing an email to Sneha, and Sneha, I try to address her by her last name, right? Purya, I think. So I say, Miss Purya, or maybe I say Dr. Purya, or I say Professor Purya, right? Or maybe in the future I can say Mrs. Purya, right? So, but I have one more option, right? Sneha, I have one more option. And the other option is I use opener and title together. So I say, Dear Miss Purya, or I say, Respected Miss Purya, right? So this is the second rule for using opener and title. Tell me if I have made myself very clear on this one. Please speak to me, everyone. Speak to me if I am very, very clear on this one. So it's only clear to Devashish and no one else. Okay, Utsav says clear, Ayushi says clear, Sneha says clear. Okay, right, Monish says clear. Fine, perfect. Now there is one more rule. And this is only for your knowledge, not for you to apply or implement. This rule tells that what if I want to use the full name? Now, what if I want to address Divyesh by his full name, Divyesh Parmar? Now, when I want to do that, I am not allowed to use opener, nor am I allowed to use the title. Once again, I am not allowed to use opener, nor am I allowed to use the title. But that is only when I'm using the full name. Also, it's mostly applicable in the auto-generated emails sent by famous websites like online sellers like Flipkart and Amazon. Whenever you read their emails, you check it. They are using your full name and then they don't use dear, respected or anything because they are using your full name, right? So these three rules very, very clear, very, very specific and very, very generic. Once again, number one, I want to address the person with his first name, Monish Buddy. So Monish Buddy, I want to address Monish with his first name, Monish. So now I have one option. The option is the opener. So I say either dear Monish or respected Monish. If Monish is my boss, if he's my sir, then I say dear Monish sir or respected Monish sir. Now, I can also write just Monish and nothing in the front, but that is only when he works under me, right? Second case, what if I want to address Monish Buddy with his last name, Buddy? At that time, I use the title. So I say Mr. Buddy or Dr. Buddy or Professor Buddy, right? But I have another option where I can use opener and the title together with the last name. So I can say Dear Mr. Badi or Respected Mr. Badi. And the third rule, full name, no dear, no respected, no Mr., nothing. Monish Badi, comma, start the email. Tell me, this is very clear to all of you? Quickly, fast. Everybody, perfect. This is done. Done. Sneha and everyone, this is perfect. Done. Right, Ritik, done. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you 60 seconds. Okay? 60 seconds to look at this chart, to look at these three rules and understand it deeply. And then just type understood after 1 minute. If you have doubts, don't write understood, ask. Okay? But 1 minute, 60 seconds, it's 12:48. We'll wait till 12:49. Okay? No, 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 no. It's already 12:49. So we'll wait for till 12:50. Right. 12:50. Right. So this looks very, very clear for everyone now. That is very good. That's good to know. Right. So this is yes, Mr. Yaj. Yes, yes, Leila. I think Leila understood it very well. Good, good. Okay. Moving on. Now let's discuss about the structure of an email because we have done the subject line. We have now understood how to address. Now let's come to the structure. Now, when you are coming to the structure, you need to be very, very careful because now the focus is all on few items. First, the focus is on three major items. Now, these three major items are here, right in front of you. The focus was in mechanics, the focus is in style, and the focus is in the on the tone. Now I'll explain you definitely all the three in details. First thing is the focus on the mechanics. Now, when I say mechanics, it's all about grammar, it's all about spelling, it's all about the punctuation. Now, you know what? Your tension related to these three items, grammar, spelling, and punctuation, is actually, you are relieved of these three items. You know why? Because you're more than relaxed. Because you already have the online tools. Because, when you're writing an email, actually sitting on a computer, and when you type that, you already have some online autocorrect tools, auto check tools, like they correct your spell errors, they correct your grammatical errors, they even correct your punctuation marks. Like one of the very you can name some of the common online tools. Yes, any idea one of the common online tools? I think you should know. You should know one of the common online software that actually checks your grammar. Yes, can someone mention that? Because that software is very well known and people are using it these days effectively. So which is that? You can tell me if you don't know. No? Okay, all right. Utso says no. Well, it's Grammarly. Now, Grammarly is one of the softwares which actually checks everything. So you are relieved. But now, now comes to the part of the style and the tone. Now, you're not relieved there. When you talk about the style, when you talk about the style, it's all about how you sound. Now, in an email, it's very, very important that your style should be a balance between politeness and sometimes criticism. Why I'm saying criticism is, let's say, for example, if you're writing an email to complain, now you cannot completely criticize people. You need to be polite when you're writing an email. But at the same time, you need to take care that you are making your point very clear. So that's the balance between criticism and politeness. Now, how to do that? Now, that's a very big question. How to do that? And we'll come to that practice. So, how to say indirectly things to people and not directly? How, I'll give you a common example, and you tell me which sounds better. Okay, I'll give you a very common example. Uh, I'm in a restaurant and I'm eating, let's say, what am I eating? Yeah, I'm eating a burger, right? And I find it, not worthy enough to eat. So I go to the manager and I say two statements. Now you tell me which one is better, okay? Which one sounds better? Or which one sounds rude? Okay, tell me which one sounds rude and which one is not rude. But the point is, I'm making my point very clear. Now, statement number one. Hey, your burger is disgusting. I actually don't wish to eat it. Please give me my money back. This is one. Now let me make one more statement. Hello. Well, I'm here to put up a complaint that the burger that you have served is not eatable. So I request you to please refund my money. So what do you think? Which one is rude? The first one or the second one? Tell me quickly. Second one, Utsav, do you think second one was rude? Are you sure? First one is rude, says, and second one is perfect, right? So yeah, Layla says A is rude and B is appropriate. But Utsav, tell me, in second one, I'm making my point clear, right? Even in the second one, yes, Utsav is right now. So in the second one, I'm making my point clear. My point is even, my point is clear in both the statements, but the second one is more appropriate. And that's what email writing is all about. In emails, you need to stretch. I always tell people one thing about emails, and I'll tell you now in the chat box to all of you and read it carefully. Your emails should always be, see, do you read that word? Do you read that word? Your emails should always be wordy. Now, when I say wordy, W-R-D-Y, wordy, I'm trying to say that you should always expand and speak. Say more. Say more in emails. Use more words. Use to make it more gentle. Okay, you need more keywords to make it right. And that's what email is all about. And then the last part, the tone. The tone is actually your, impression, right? The types of words you use. Your tone is actually the types of words you use. Okay. For example, your burger is not eatable. Now look at the word I'm using, eatable. I request a refund, right? See my tone, right? Refund. Okay. Now look at my tone when I say, hey, I want my money back. Oh, I want my refund. Now my tone is better, right? So that's my impression when I'm writing an email. And that's something that makes my email worthy enough. Working on tone, I always wonder how to work on tone, and then I have some exercises here and there. Let me just pop up one exercise, and let's quickly look at that thing. uh, so look at this one carefully. Some of the words I've used here, appropriately. I always find these words attractive and impressive. So let's okay, just look at these words. There are some words on the top here. Yeah, here there are some words. So look at the words: expertise, advised, liege, appointment, reference, designed. Okay, so can we read one by one? And we have six blanks, and can we use all these six words appropriately at its place? Let's see how can we do that. Number one, his dash in sales has greatly helped our company's economic status. His dash. What do you think? His dash in sales. Yes. So I think his expertise. Okay. His advice. People say his advice, his expertise. Now, you need to look at the word advice carefully. It's not ADVICE. Okay, Sneha, let me say this one more time. If it is ADVICE, then it's a noun. But here it's an ADVISE. It's a verb. Okay. It's a verb. So his expertise in sales has greatly helped our company's economic status. It cannot be advised. It's expertise. Let's go ahead. A client has to call to make and dash with the CEO. A client has to call and make, yeah, well, it goes without saying because there is a word and. So an appointment, okay? Fine. Okay. The HR dash the new employee to resign due to his poor work performance. Now, I think here you need to use the word, the HR. Come on, come on. No, not reference. Yes. Now you need to use the word advice. Now, I think, Sneha, you got it right this time. Okay, you got it perfect this time, in fact. So advice. Now, see, this is the verb. This is the action. The HR advised. Here you cannot use CE. Here you need to use SE. Once again, I will type it in the chat box. ADVICE is a noun, right? And it means a piece of advice, a piece of suggestion. Let me give you a meaning. So ADVICE is a piece of suggestion, but when you say ADVISE, it is a verb, right? It is To give, it is to give ADVICE. So ADVISE is to give ADVICE. I know at times this is funny because English itself is an amazing language, right? So ADVICE, ADVISE. All right, try the fourth one. They plan to dash a bigger building. They plan to. Now this is easy. They plan to. They plan to. They plan to. Come on. They plan to dash a bigger building since their employees are increasing in numbers. They plan to. I think I'm not audible to you. Am I? Yeah, I am, I guess. Yeah, they plan to. Okay, people seem confused here. I'm asking again, they plan to what? No, they don't plan to, because design is ED. Okay, so they plan to lease. See, now that's the idea. Lease is to take on rent or some contract basis and all that. Okay, our engineers dash a project which is beneficial to the masses. What do you think? Yes. What do you think? Our engineers. Now this time it should be. This time it should be. Yes, this time it should be designed. And now the last, if you check that, please make sure to give everyone a copy of our company manual for future. Now, always what word matches with future. Is it future expertise? Is it future advice? Is it future design, future appointment, future lease, or future reference? Future reference is a common word. So future reference, right? That's a very common word there. Fine. So this is what I was talking when I'm saying tone. Okay, we need to be very careful about the tone that we use in in the mails. Let me come back. Now let's talk about the mechanics. Now, of course, grammar and all that, I don't want to talk much, but I want to talk few things about mechanics here. And these few things are, look at these. In emails, you can never use the short forms. You make Y or U becomes U, and 8 becomes, the number 8, the digit 8 that you use in WhatsApp short texts. You cannot use WhatsApp short text here, right? You cannot do that. You cannot do that. You can never use the question mark. Now let me tell you one thing, and you all should tell me whether you agree or not. Do you remember when you were in schools and when you used to write a letter? We always used to start our letter by asking a question, how are you? I am fine. How is everyone in the family? I am good here. Do you agree? Yeah, do you do that? Did we do that? Did we do that when we were kids? Did we do that? We always used to start a letter asking a question. You know what? Now, the beauty is, now this is where, the mechanics jump in. And this is where actually the mechanics only tells you that you cannot use a question mark, but the style tells you what to do. The style is a direct and indirect. So when you say, how are you, is a very direct question. In other words, you should start with, hope you are fine. And it doesn't end with a question mark. So every time when you want to ask a question, you start the line with hope. So now you say, will you come with me? Hope you come with me. Right? Okay. Will you be there? Hope to see you there. Right. Will you be my friend? Very informal. Will you be my friend? Hope you would be my friend someday. See, now this, when you use hope, it's actually a question. તમે ખરેખર તો question જ put up કરો છો ને. આપ અસલ તરીકે में देखा जाए तो आप question put up कर रहे हो. In real, what you're trying to put up is a question. So that's the difference between asking question directly and then trying to use the words like hope. Okay, one more. You cannot start a request item with please. You always start request items with modal auxiliaries like would, could, may, might, anything. And one more, you cannot use contractions also. This is a big thing. आप contractions भी use नहीं कर सकते हो email में. Email में you cannot say is not, isn't, was not, wasn't, are not, aren't, will not, won't. Right? You cannot say have not, haven't. right? You cannot say had not, hadn't, would not, wouldn't. No, you cannot say that. You should write in a complete format. So you should say would not. If it is aren't, you should say are not. So you should be very, very specific when you're writing, these items. So no contractions. No, not at all. No, sir. You're not supposed to use contractions ever in an email. That's the fundamental rule you need to remember always. Now, after looking at the mechanics, the style. The style is where we talk about the indirect form of a language. And you should always use words like could, would, may, might, and so on. Let's practice this. Let's take a very quick practice and tell me if you're ready for a practice quickly for direct and indirect language, a support exercise kind of a thing where I'm providing you support. Please tell me when you're ready quickly. Type ready if you are. So only Utsav and Xylem is ready. And no one else? Okay. Alish is ready now. Anyone else? Harsh is ready. Yes, I can see Devashish is ready. Ayushi, Sneha, okay, but we are 28. Bhautik is ready. Ritvik is ready. Leila, okay, everyone. Okay, most of you. Fine, let's start. But let's first understand the question, okay? So don't rush for it. Now let's first understand the question. Now, there are two parts you can see, like a table. Look at the right side, sorry, the left side of your screen. Now, on the left side, you can see all the direct questions asked. When does the course start? Do I need to do a level test? How much does the course cost? Do you have native teachers? When do your course begin? Blah blah blah. All right. So they are all direct questions. Now, if you check the part on the right hand side, everywhere I have used the model from the beginning. Yeah, maybe no model in the second one, but look at the beginning. Good. Look at the third one. Would, could, would, could, would. Okay. Now these sentences will not end in a question mark, but it will make clear that you're asking the same question, but in an indirect format. So let's get ready to do this. When does the course start? Let me give you one example and then you will try. When does the course start? So I don't want to put up a question mark, but still I want to answer. I want my question to be answered. So I say, could you tell me the start date of the course? Or could you tell me the commencement date of the course? And this doesn't end in question mark, right? Okay, right. In some of the sentences, you might need if, like the second one, and when you use if, the next version, the next part will carry the model. So can you try the next one? Do I need to take a level test? Can you try this one? Can you try this one and try to use the word if and complete a sentence? Let's see who does it. Quickly, do I need to do a level test? Please let me know if, what do you think? Come on, what do you think? No one? Well, I expect someone to answer that. Quickly, do I need to do a level test? Please let me know. Please let me know if I'm supposed to give a level test. Okay. Could you tell me? No. Leila, you are not supposed to change. You are not supposed to change that. You're supposed to keep the first part as it is. Please let me know. Okay. Please let me know if I need to do a level test. Sneha, Ayushi, and everybody got it right. Now, let me tell you one thing, and that's a very common English error that we all do. Not just we, but others too. Exams, tests. I'm speaking slowly because I'm typing all together. Exams and tests, you never say give. Okay, you never say give exams, or you never say I'm giving a test, right? No, you always say take. You always say I am taking exams, right? You always say I am taking tests. Fine, which is the right one. Okay, so this I'm saying because Utsav in the sentence mentions give, right? So please clarify that and take care in the future that you never say take. Sorry, you never say give. Okay, let's try this third one. How much does the course cost? Would you mind telling me what? Would you mind telling me what? Can you complete that? Would you mind telling me? Would you mind telling me? Let's see what you write. Give me something that doesn't end with a question mark. Would you mind telling me? And we are doing the third one, please. Would you mind telling me? Oh, that's a slow one. That's a slow one. You guys are a little slow today. Would you mind telling me? Yeah, would you mind telling me the cost of the course? So that's one way of saying it. Yes, that's very true actually. That's one way of saying it. Yes. Anyone else? Would you mind telling me? Yeah, okay. Zalem says, would you mind telling me the course cost? Okay, the costing of the course or the course cost. Now I think it's very clear from it. Yes, yes, very clear. All right, let's try the fourth one. Do you have the native teachers? Could you tell me? And I think you again need if here. Could you tell me if? I think it's easy. Yeah. Could you tell me if you have native teachers? Good, good, good. I mean, Ayushi and Sneha, you got it right. Could you tell me if you have native teachers? Yeah, true. You're right. Okay, let's try the fifth one. When do your courses begin? And it says, I would be grateful. Look at the line it is used. I would be grateful if you could tell me. So what do you think? I would be grateful if you could tell me. Yeah. And you cannot use WH questions when you're asking indirect questions. Okay. So you cannot use any other question words like how and when and why. So I would be grateful if you could tell me what. If you could tell me what. Quickly, quickly, waiting. Let's see who comes first. Let's see. Okay, guys, quickly. I would be grateful if you could tell me the date of your course's beginning. You could say, you could tell me the courses will start. I would be grateful if you could tell me the date when the courses will start, something like that. Okay, I usually say the date of your courses beginning. No, you can say the commencement of the courses. You can say, I would be grateful if you could tell me the commencement date or the starting date of your courses, right? Something like that. Let's take the sixth one. Is the accommodation near the school? I would like to know if. What do you think? Is the accommodation near the school? I would like to know if. I think Sneha is good with the if statements. Yes. Let's see who comes. Sneha and Utsav. And Ayushi. I'd be grateful if, okay, Devashish, if you could tell me the date of your course's start. Yes, yes, yes. But yes, I'm now on the sixth one. Is the accommodation near the school? I would like to know if, what do you think? Quickly, guys, I would like to know if. I would like to know if there is accommodation near the school. Good, Zelam, good, good. I'd like to know if there is any accommodation near the school or if there is any, or if there is accommodation near the school. How many students are in each class? Could you tell me? Wow, this time you need to work harder. Could you tell me, let me give you a hint. Could you tell me the number? It starts with the word number. Now, can you tell me? Could you tell me the number? Could you tell me the number? What? Quickly, guys. Perfect. Got it. Could you tell me the number of students in each class? See, that's easy. That was easy, actually, right? Okay. And the last one, which book will we use? Would you mind telling me what? Would you mind telling me what? What do you want to know? Would you not mind telling me? Come on, guys. It's already 1:16. We are running a minute late, actually 60 seconds late. Not late, but further. Would you mind telling me? Would you mind telling me the book you are using? Oh, wow. No, 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 no. Would you mind telling me the book we will use? Oh, not you are using. Actually, you got it wrong. You got it all wrong. I mean, the question, you got it wrong. Otherwise, you're right. Otherwise, you're good. All right. Fine. I think that's it. I mean, let me end this session particularly in specifically. Yeah. And tell me, actually tell me, how was it? I mean, did you guys understand everything? Did you guys understand each and every concept? Did you guys understand the concepts of email? And did you guys learn at least something? Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I think this session was good. This session was interactive, other than previous sessions of email. Honestly, this session was interactive, and you guys were engaged. Good, good, good. So let's hope that every session goes like this. Sending you the attendance link, your name and your roll number goes there, and yes, I think that's it for the day. And I should say thank you to everyone. Thank you for attending the session. And yeah, that's it. There's nothing much that I want to say. Thank you so much, guys. And see you soon. Please enter your enrollment number and name, and then you can start leaving the room so that I know that you have entered your enrollment number and your name. You can start leaving the room after that. Okay, okay, Ritik. Okay, Utsav. Welcome and bye-bye. Okay, everyone, and bye-bye, and see you. See you all. See you soon.
Sir,
Yes.
link nothing received, sir.
Oh, you have not received the link? I will share it again. Don't worry. I will share it again. There you go. There you go. मैं पाछी share करी छे. Okay? Check.
Okay, sir.
All right. All right, Didi, you're done. Thank you. Monish, done. Thank you. Oh, Monish, you're welcome. Right. All right. Okay. Thank you, everyone, and bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Welcome and bye-bye. Bye, Alish, Utsav, Baudik. Bye. Yes, Alish. Bye-bye.